Hi everyone, I'm going to do some stick pins. I've been asked if I can show, although there are several stick pin tutorials, I do have, they're all different, we never do the same. So I'm going to do 6. That's a bent pin, I don't want that one. 4, 5, 6. I'm using the pearly headed ones. First of all, what I'm going to do though is pop on a bead cap. Now you don't have to put a bead cap on first. In fact, looking at that, I might change my mind. Not very straight. That's better, that sits in. So that's a little tiny, that's a 6mm pearl. So I'm assuming that will be a 6mm pin, bead cap. Then to that I'm going to add a little tiny, what they call a flower spacer. And I'm using golden and silver mixed. I'm not fussed. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm doing a gold diamante. On top of that, or underneath that, should I say, a nice purple pearl. Hope you can see this. Hope you can see this. I'm not sure. Hope it's not blurred. Wrong way. Hope it's not blurred. And then to that, excuse me, I've got this beautiful teardrop. Now, I don't like that, so I'm going to put a little silver bead cap in between. I don't have the gold ones. I generally only use the silver ones. And I love that. Again, a little silver bead cap. And then what I'm going to use is a very large, not that one, sorry, this one. Pearl. So it's a bead cap, large bead cap. Push that on so it splits it like that. And then I'm going to do the crystal. I don't know what it'll look like. Let me just see. That's too much, but that's just right. So I'm just going to get the spacer, a little spacer at the end. You only need a tiny drop of glue on that, and push the spacer down, and that will seal and hold that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Okay, yeah, I like that. So we're going to use them like that, and I'll just keep that one out for reference. So again, we take the small bead cap, turn it upside down to cup the pearl. Then what do we do? Let me just see. We did one of these diamante spacers there. I then did the small pearl. Oops, a daisy. Oops, don't drop there. Oh, bum. This doesn't want to go on. Small pearl. A little tiny spacer. Now, as far as I remember, I get my spacers from a place called Our Beads on eBay. Our Beads, all capital letters. Teardrop. Spacer. These are the 8mm bead cap. So I'm using 6 and 8mm. The large pearl. And you don't just sit it on, push it on. One push and it splits it. Like that, and that's fine. And then the tiny bead spacer at the end. And then what I'm going to do is just a touch of glue. Any excess you just wipe off, pick it off like that, and it's done. And they do look stunning. So we just repeat that another 4 times. Take the small bead cap, turn it upside down to cup the pearl. Tiny spacer. The diamante one, that is. Little pearl. Small spacer. Teardrop. Small spacer. The larger bead cap. Large pearl. And push. And it'll split open. and then the bead cap. So again, like I say, they're very easy to make. They do look better if you've got your spacers and your bead caps, I have to say. But not everybody's got them, but you can still mix and match your crystals and your pearls to make that, you know, really stand out. Beautiful, aren't they? These going out in Iraq, not Iraq, sorry, somebody's bought a kit, and these are going out, excuse me, in that kit. And I love making these, but the thing is, when I get going with them, I usually make between 100 to 200. My granddaughter, Billy May, she sits and makes 100 at a time when she makes them. So we need to get her back here to doing them. She makes beautiful, beautiful stick pins. And the minute she makes them, she sells them, and they've gone. Just shows you. Oh, sorry, I nearly forgot that. Pop that on, push once, and then the bead cap to follow, the spacer to follow. There we go. Push that on. That's fine. 2 more. Little diamante one. I'm just checking all the time, make sure I don't make a mistake. I've done that before. I've done a full set and then realised one of them's wrong. And it's a pain, really, because you have to go back and do it all again. There we go. Get ready for the big pearl. Bush. And then the little spacer. There we go. Just take any excess off. And see, something so pretty can be done so quickly. It is good. Go to your flea markets, search out for all your jewellery bits and take them apart. If you find a necklace with these crystals and that on, I didn't put those on, but, you know, choose your jewellery carefully. Choose jewellery that you can actually take apart and get a lot of use out of. And that's, you know, it's great when you can get a full necklace of pearls, especially a multicoloured one. If you can do that, fabulous. Sorry, I've got pain in my left thumb. See, it's because I'm using my hands a lot. There we go. And we've got, 6 stunning stick pins. And what would you pay in the shops for those? Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.